Race number 2, turffontein inside track, is where the Bipot starts, 1200 meters for the maiden juvenile plate. No changes at this stage. All 9 runners are carded. 7 of 9 are first timers. Here's a look at that betting. Number 4, Geostorm, 2-1. The 1, Alpha World, 4-1, joint second favourite, with the 9, Vapingo, the filly who has had a few runs. 9-2, number 2, Balule, and then it's number 8, Princess Kiera at 9-2. 16-1 and better bar those. So obviously never easy with these juveniles. Great to be joined today by Daryl Marie, who will be helping us through this card. Of course, we're hoping for the weather to play ball. Daryl, welcome and looking forward to this card.
I am. Thanks for having us, Lyle, stepping in. Had a little bit of overnight rain, and there's more rain predicted tomorrow morning.
I think almost from now till tomorrow,
Yes.
yeah.
So let's hope we get through the meeting. Now, Lyle, current favourite's Geostorm. Now, have a look at who his dam is. That makes him a full brother to Buffalo Storm Cody, who, funny enough, won his maiden over the very same course and distance as a juvenile by 9 odd lengths. Unfortunately, there's no comment in the front of the computer form, so I'm in the dark with regards to where he is in his preparation. But if he's got ability as his full brother does, and the money comes for him, I can see him making a winning debut.
And of course, the fact that Gavin is taking that ride over one of Roy Magner's rides, for instance, obviously it does work well, yeah.
Then you got Alpha World, also no comment. Now he's down once over 1,000 meters. Watch the betting with regards to his chances. And then the race runner is number 9, Vapingo, the filly who gets her 6 allowance. Now the filly that beat her, Sister Golden Hair, got touched off by Red Penny.
Red Penny.
Running second post maiden, and then a filly that ran behind her in her last start was Ethical, who came out and ran a place. With the experience, I can say that with confidence of the race runners, she's the right one. But opening leg of the Bipot, I've played the safe route. I've gone 149 long.
All right, thank you, Daryl. The money on the 1 and the 4, and of course the experience with the filly number 9. So Daryl's Bipot starts 149, by 1 and 7, by 2, 4, 8, by 2 and 3, by 3, 5 and 6, by 2 and 10, and the cost there of this Bipot, 216 Rand. Race number 2, the time 12:40. Race number 3 is a maiden plate for the fillies and the mares. They're racing over 1,450 meters. This is the first leg of our PA this afternoon. Now, I'm sure the trainers won't mind me saying it is not a strong field at all here. So glad we've got Daryl to help us through this. Your current betting, number 7, Concordia, is at 19-10. Number 1 on a jet plane, 2-1. 3-1 the price about number 2, Winds of Grace. 6 about number 3, Milo's Millionaire. 15-2, number 10, Watching Hour on debut, and then it's 18-1 and better bar those. So, Daryl, the first question is PA. If the 10, is any good, should really win a race like this, but the money's not really there for the first timer, is it?
Yes, and Mr. Magner has commented saying that she's a nice filly, but she will need the experience. Not much confidence coming out of the yard over there. Lyle, like you said, this form isn't that strong on offer. The 2-year-old in the race is at Concordia. Now, let's see the result of the previous race number 2, because Princess Kiara comes out of that same form line, the Little Miss Splendid. Now, you can see in the computer form, it says 0 from 4. However, there have been several placings from that form line. The 2nd and 3rd placed in their next start. The 6th and the 7th ran thereabouts in their next start. So, in this sort of lineup, I think she must have a strong winning chance, despite the form line yet to be franked. What I do want to say is she's by Rabada out of a Western Winter mare who won over 1,800 and 1,900 meters. So there's no doubt in my mind she's going to appreciate the extra. Plus, she gets that 4 kg allowance because she is a 2-year-old. So I think she's one of the leading lights of the year. Then you've got numbers 1 and 2 on a jet plane. Now there is a form update for her. Did you touch on that?
No, I actually haven't seen that form update.
Oh,
No.
she ran. She actually got touched off by Cape Saffron.
That's right.
She ran
It was actually an
second.
excellent run,
A
yes.
short head. So, in that race, she got beaten a short head by Cape Saffron, and Winds of Grace beat Cape Saffron. But when Winds of Grace beat Cape Saffron was very unlucky in running. She got no luck and she found herself at the back of the field. So I'm going to be leaning towards On a Jet Plane. I know it was a blanket finish last time out, and I'm not really a fan of those. But I think the field that she bumps over here, she's in with a strong winning chance. And I know she's got a tricky draw to contend with, but have a look at the horses drawn on the inside. They really lack early toe, so I think she's going to get into a great position without having to exert too much energy. If you want to go wider, you can possibly add number 2, Winds of Grace. However, I'm fairly convinced we are going to get through the opening leg. 1 and 7 are my numbers.
Thank you. There's Daryl's PA. Yeah, not the strongest field here to start off. 1 and 7, by 2, 4 and 8, by 2 and 3, by 3, 5, 6, by 2 and 10, 4 and 6, 1, 4 and 12 to wrap it up in race number 9, and your cost there 432 rand. Race number 4 is a maiden plate over 1,450 meters. Pick 6 starts here. Field has 9 runners. Betting at the moment looks as follows. Number 8, Mighty Eagle for Tony Peter, Gavin Lorena, trading 18 to 10. The 2, Curtis Condor, 19 to 10. Samaga Kamalo taking the ride for Johan Janse van Vuren. 7 to 2 by number 5, Golden Alexia, back from that rest for Sean Terry, the filly. The 6, Aminato, 9 to 2. Aminato is a Japanese confectionery, by the way. I'll get to that now, Daryl. And then we have Mistakes at number 4 at 11 to 2 for Tyrone Zaki and Cabello King Matsonyani. Race number 4, there's not many that can probably win this race, Daryl.
Yeah, I actually had 5 runners in the opening leg of the Pick 6 Lyle. I originally had 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8. However, my perm's in excess of 2,000 rand, so I omitted
Took out 5 and 6.
Took out numbers
Fair
5
enough.
and 6.
I would too. I would do exactly the same.
The 2 fillies from the Terry yard. Kurtz's Condor. This is the horse that found huge anti-post support in the market, and then come race time he drifted. Came out sluggishly, languishing towards the back of the field. Only got into the race when it was all over. However, although he did catch the eye in the latter stages, I might add that that was a very shallow field. There have been 3 runners, all 3 unplaced. And I'm not certain this is his trip yet. And I'm not certain he's an inside track horse. But he will appreciate the extra. He would have come on with that run under his belt. Hopefully he can be within contention this time round, and we'll see a much better effort. All his siblings won in the region of 1,800 meters. So maybe 1 more for him, and then a mile or further. But I can see him winning. Number 4, Mistakes. Now, 1,200, dropped to 1,000, ran on extremely well. Now 1,400. He's damn won races between a mile and 2,000 meters.
Okay, was she with Roy Magna by any chance?
I thought she was with Louis Huisson.
Louis Huisson, Miss K, yes. Okay, yeah.
I could be wrong.
I think you're right. No, I think you're right.
So I can see her reversing the form with Anamato, because he was making his debut, and Anamato was having a 5th or 6th run. So I think Mistakes. I know it sounds like a filly, but I think he can reverse the form with Anamato. And then the 2-year-old in the race is Mighty Eagle, number 8. Obviously, he's got 56 to shoulder. And I do want to add that Whispering Death came out and won again. And the horse that ran behind him was a horse called Golden Warrior, who came out and ran 3rd in his next start, behind a horse called Ideal Summer, who won his next start. So a 2-year-old, he's got a lot of scope for improvement. And I saw him in the flesh when I was working on course that day. He looks like, I saw him in the canter past, if I'm not mistaken. He looks like a very, very nice sort. So I can see him winning. So I'm hoping I get through. I'll end with numbers 2, 4, and 8. I'm actually going to be leaning towards number 4 here, Mistakes, as the likely winner.
All right, like you said, you can't spend 10,000. So you have to omit some of these runners. So you've gone 2, 4, 8 first leg by 2 and 3, by 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 and 10 in leg 4, 2, 4 and 6, and Daryl's gone quite wide at the back, 1 through 12, 2,160 Rand. Remember, you can take a percentage. Don't forget to get your pick 6 on. Race 4, 1350. Race number 5, Fillies and Mares 94 handicap, 1600 meters. A really exciting and good field we have here for the Jackpot 1 start. 9 runners. Let's have a look at that betting. Number 3, Too Late My Mate, 5-2. So past that, there's value to be had. Number 2, Soldier's Eye, 5-1. 6-1, all of. Number 1, Miss Hannigan. Number 6, LMB. And number 8, One Religion. Doesn't stop there. Number 7, I Am Regals in the betting at 15-2. And the 5, Glamorous Lady, showing at 8-1. So Daryl actually really had a good look at this race. So I'm really excited to hear what you have to say. I literally gave every single horse in this race on their best form a chance. But we have to
narrow it
make
down.
a decision, yeah.
Once again, I had as many as 5 runners in this race in my pick 6. And because I eliminated horses, I've stuck to the same perm with my jackpot. I've only gone 2 horses. My pick 6 horses were 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Now, Miss Hannigan, excuses, tongue tie went on. I think she choked up last time out. Glamorous Lady, lovely filly, a little bit worried about that form line, but she did feel finish well clear of the balance of the field on that occasion. Track and trip suits at 53 to shoulder. LMB getting closer. Last time out, she moved up as the likely winner. Course and distance ideal for her. Those are my 3rd, 4th, and 5th choices. However, I narrowed it down to numbers 2 and 3. Soldier's Eye is my top pick of the year. I thought she was a bit unfortunate last time out, Lal. She broke well. She found herself handy. I know, okay, the frontals weren't clear, but she found herself quite handy in that race. She had no cover on the outside. She was exposed. And coming into the straight, the winner, the eventual winner, Miss Galetta, had the perfect run of the race. She slipped on the inside and she got first run. However, Soldiers Eye on that occasion, if you watch that race carefully, she was really doing her best work late. In another few strides, she might have reversed the form with Miss Galetta. Course and distance specialist. She's fit. I know she got a slight penalty, but I wouldn't read too much into that. On the inside track, she's very, very decent. And then the current favorite, Too Late My Mate. Last time out, I know it was a very, very strong field. And Royal Force came out and won from there. She beat him. However, I might just add that she was extremely well weighted in that event. She was joint best weighted with her stable companion, Aristotle. But the form line has been frank. Royal Force won, Aristotle ran second. So some equipment changes with regards to her. Cheek pieces go on. Let's hope she can hold a prominent position from a neat draw, because she's packed with ability, this filly. And although she hasn't won in a few starts, don't read too much into that, because she's off a really competitive mark. So 2 from 3, but respect for 1, 5, and 6.
Right, thank you. So taking a stance right here, Jackpot 1, race number 5. Daryl's going 2 and 3 in the jackpot by 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, by 2 and 10. And then 2, 4, and 6 in race number 8. The cost there, 60 Rand. Get those bets on there for the Jackpot 1 at 14.25. Fillies and Mares 75 divided handicap. Race number 6 goes over the mile, 1600 meters. First leg of our Jackpot 2. Not the easiest, most straightforward field, but we will see what Daryl likes here. Number 5, Tanner Marie, is at 5-2. Recent maiden winner with top jock Craig Zaki for Sean Terry. 3, Wagram for Alec Laird. This is Alec Laird and, of course, Calvin Habib. The 4, Secret Recipe, showing at 5-1. Number 6, Strazand, 11-2. 1, Pearl in Her Crown, 6-1. 10-1, number 7, Ghost Buster. And then it's 12-1 and better bar those. So, Daryl, the question really is, these maiden winners that won their maidens last time, are they the right horses in race 6?
Well, if you recall, Tanner Marie was meant to run last week, and she was scratched at the pens, coughing. She comes back to the course a few days later. I do want to say that, Lyle, there's a lot of stamina on her dam side. She now steps up from 1200 to 17 to a mile, but the damn Plaisance through Leeson, who won over 2,000 meters, and the Bosbok. I think he was trained by Gary Alexander, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure. Yeah.
He won over 2,800 meters.
You're older than me. I don't remember. I don't remember that.
So, handicap debut, stepping up in trip. I can see her winning. I don't think she beat a strong field whatsoever last time out, but she's unexposed of this distance. Then you got Wagram, number 3. She's really having a peak run on the half vault. I know she didn't beat a strong field last time out either, but you need to listen to Andrew Fortune's comments. He said she actually gave him a very nice field, and it looks like she's going to improve with racing all the time. So I'm not excluding her either. I think she'll actually go well on handicap debut. Strazand, number 6. Now, a little bit of concern is that the stable has gone through a quiet patch recently. I think the last 10 or odd runners haven't found the board or the placings, but you can never write off Robin because she's a really good trainer, and when they start clicking again, you can follow the yard with confidence, and Strazand might be the one to turn things around for her yard. Have a look at her rating, down to 76. Gavin takes the ride. She's got natural early gate speed. So the way I read the race is she's going to be put in a prominent position, and I think she could fight out the finish. I like her chances. Then in my jackpot, I included number 1, Pearl in a Crown. I was very disappointed with her last start. She actually found absolutely nothing on that occasion. Very, very disappointing. I'm worried that it's only 9 days later. If she can turn that around, I'm unsure of it. And then Secret Recipe, you know, I think she's really got her issues because she's sparingly raced, but on her day, you can't exclude her. So 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I'm actually going to be leaning towards Strazand from Wagram.
Okay.
So 6, 3, 5 in that order.
There we go. Jackpot 2, race 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 2 and 10, by 2, 4, 6 and wide at the back, 1 through 12, 360 Rand, race number 6, 1500, Jackpot 2. Race number 7 is an MR66 handicap over 2,000 meters. There are 13 runners carded, 2 equipment changes. Number 5, Man's Knight, Cornell collar on, and the 9, Silver Flare, has blinkers on. Right, a little tricky race, obviously being a 66 handicap. Betting has number 3, Storm Ahead, joint favourite at 4-1, with 4, Whispers of War, and the 6, Gamer. So 3, 4, and 6 all joint favourites. Number 2, Carnello, 5-1. 7 about number 10, Japanese Maple, interesting jockey booking. 10-1, the 5, the Maiden, Man's Knight, and then it's 14-1 and better bar those. So race number 7, Daryl, how many do we need?
You probably need the field, but I only put 2 runners, lol. Once again, my pick 6 didn't allow it to go
That's why you get the big
wider.
bucks, because you're able to narrow down the race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I think reading the race, one can say that Summerland, number 13, is going to go to the head of affairs. She's generally very quick out the pens, and there's only one way of riding her. So if she does lead it with 52 kilograms to shoulder, I think Cornello, number 2, is going to get an opportunity to settle in behind her and get the run of the race. Now, we need to touch on the fact that he's been stepped up in trip for the first time, and it may be a sticky track, so it's going to be a testing 2000. However, have a look at his breeding. Gray's in. He was a 10 furlong mile and a half horse.
Yep.
2024-50. His dam, Miss Scaramanga, won over 2400, if I'm not mistaken. So she stayed. So he's yet to be tried over this trip, and if there's one jockey, although he's got natural early toe, this Cornello, there's one jockey that can still ride them patiently, although handy, it's Striker. So I'm really keen to see how he goes. Number 2, Cornello. Then I backed him up with number 10 of Japanese Maple. Now, this horse has really, really been disappointing. I mean, He hasn't won in ages, but he's won on the inside track before. He's run second over the course and distance. And I've watched him in his 2 efforts since returning from a layoff. He moved up with Ryan Munger. He needed that. Then last time out, in my mind, it was a flat run. Have a look at his ratings, come down to 58. Gavin's going to slot in or attempt to slot in behind Cornello. If he can latch onto him, I think he could be Cornello's biggest danger. And have a look at that strike rate when Washong and Gavin team up. 19 runners, 6 winners, 3 seconds, 3 thirds. They really, when they join forces, they're really, really competitive. So 2 and 10, I'm hoping I'm on the right 2 over here. If you don't agree with me, you're going to have to throw in several others.
There we go, 2 and 10. I agree. I think Cornello at this stage of our day right now is 5-1. I think that's value. So 2 and 10, the final double, or not the final double, the penultimate double, 2 and 10 by 2, 4 and 6. That a 60 Rand cost for race number 7, off time there, 15:32. Race number 8, a novice handicap over 1,200 meters. Final leg of the Jackpot 1 and the penultimate race on the card. One scratching, number 1, Bosom Buddy. So they're just 7 runners for the field, but it's an interesting field. Number 4, I should say, 4, Heavily Lies the Crown is your favorite, 17-10. Samago Kamalo for Johan Janssen van Vuren. Very impressive debut. The 3 is at 33-10. There's something to be the green light. Also for Johan, Craig Zaki aboard. Have a chance with that experience. The 2, Pennsylvania, who's back from arrest, is at 7-2. And then it's number 5, There's a Light, 5-1. Not often you see a 4-year-old getting weight from 3-year-old fillies and 3-year-old colts, geldings, but he is. And then number 6, Espinosa, 6-1. Good little field, this one. Are we going for the 3-year-olds, the filly, the 3-year-old colt?
It's a great field.
It's a good little race, isn't it?
I really look forward to this race. Once again, Lal, there's 2 form updates.
Thank you. I do have them.
Yeah.
One party ran on the 17th of April, 11th, 18 lengths behind, Flight of a Condor. An Impact Investor also ran on the 17th of April, 12th, 6 1/4 lengths behind Ari Lena.
Yeah, so those 2 runs can't really give you confidence.
No.
They were well beaten. I mean, I think one party and Impact Investor only beat 1 or so. Espinosa, 1 run as a gelding, romped home on the inside track over the same course and distance. Stallgate number 1, 54 to shoulder, making his handicap debut. I'm not writing him off. Yes, it wasn't a great field that he beat. And the horse, the original favorite, is subsequently really disappointed. Again, Desert Cloud. But he has a horse who's done nothing wrong as a gelding, making his handicap debut. I respect him, number 6.
At the time wasn't bad, considering it was yielding conditions, actually.
Okay, yeah.
Second faster than average.
I'm putting him in. I think
second slower than average, yeah.
Then you got Heavy Lies the Crown. Now, he has a horse that really caught the eye when making a winning debut. Yes, there was a bit of support for her, but I don't think she was that strongly fancied because she only had 1 horse to beat, and it was Tana Marie. And if they'd put the money on her, she would have shortened dramatically in the market, and that didn't happen. Now, on that occasion when she beat Tana Marie, if you recall, Tana Marie came out slowly and got herself behind runners with really no hope. There were some battlers in that race, and she was out of her ground. And when she got to the straight and she finally got a gap, she did close and make inroads on Heavy Lies the Crown. In saying that, Heavy Lies the Crown was making her debut, and she could have come on in leaps and bounds, and this filly could really be anything. So I respect her. She could remain unbeaten. She's a filly. And then you got Pennsylvania. Now this was Lal. Since day 1, Tony has made it clear that he's above average sort, and he's highly regarded at home. Disappointed on debut, he got it right in his second start, wasn't disgraced in his handicap debut, but now he's returning as a gelding, and maybe that has just switched him on. So I know his form lines aren't great. However, when Tony says this horse has got ability, he knows what he's working with back at home. And if this horse can bring his track work to the course itself, I really wouldn't be shocked to see him fight out this finish. So I think we can go into this race with some confidence. The only other run I can see over here is There's a Light. However, I'm leaning towards an Exactor box. 2, 4, and 6. Those are the top 3 of my selections.
All right, so that you've heard it. Exactor box 2, 4, and 6. He's made a good case for each 3 of them. Let's put them all together. 60 Rand. Race number 8 at 16.07.